Yo. All right, you got it.
No, you could have started, man.
All right. Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy, Big Cozy, Too Cozy, a.k.a. the Big Grande Don, El Capitan. I'm here with my two homeboys, my niggas. No, I really did it. You know, this
my
nigga. See, this is the difference between me and you. This is off top the head. I'm flying. I got it. I got the charisma. I'm here with my two homeboys right now.
Oh my god,
my niggas. Hey, Nigel, let these niggas know. Spence, let these niggas know who the fuck you is. You know what I mean? This is episode 20. The big 20, nigga.
Yo,
Jesus,
what's going
That's
on,
gonna
y'all?
be a pain in the ass.
Nah, I'm gonna leave all that shit in there. Fuck that. I'm not gonna edit that shit. What's going on? This is Nigel. I'm chilling here with my friends. This is episode 20. We finally hit the fucking milestone. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly, man. Yo, what's going on, everybody? I'm checking in right now. It's Spence. Yeah, I can't believe, just like you said, Naj, I can't believe it's episode 20 already. Like 20 weeks straight.
You know, it's crazy that we're here, talking with y'all today. It's episode 20. It feels like it's been a long time since we got here. You know what I mean? Like, we've been doing this in reality for maybe 25 weeks. But we didn't really put out the first official episode till maybe beginning of March, once this whole COVID shit started.
I think it was March 16th or something like that, March 17th. I can't believe it, though. I can't believe that it's been at least 20 weeks since when we first started putting out episodes and stuff. So I guess, what is that, like 5 months?
Has it been 5 months?
Yeah, I mean 4 weeks in a month, if it's technically 4 weeks in a month, right?
Yeah,
20 weeks, 5 times 4, 5 divided by 4.
We actually have 21 episodes with the 8.2.
Yep.
Yeah, man, it's kind of wild. And we actually have episodes we didn't even put out yet, shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of weird how this whole journey took us to this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. It would have been. I can't believe that we made it this far, though. Like, I can believe it, but it's like, oh shit! Like, it kind of just happens that fast.
Yeah. If you've been listening to us for a few episodes now, or whatever, try and tell us something you like about the show. Put it in the comments. Subscribe to us.
Yeah.
Do what you gotta do. Get us a like, man. Shit, we're on YouTube now. The shit's on YouTube. Look at our stuff.
Facts. That's a fact, though. That is a fact. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but you know what I mean? Like, just tell it. Honestly, to be honest with you, I love to hear what someone's favorite part of the show has been so far, out of every episode they've listened to. Leave a comment under episode 20's post when we put this out. Like, it's great being able to see, like, getting to episode 20 and slowly building up a followingship that started at 0.
Yeah.
I feel like I've had to learn more in 5 months than I've had to deal with with anything else in terms of just maneuvering and all of that shit. Because this I ain't gonna hold you, everybody listening. We do a lot of work behind the scenes to make sure everything kind of like everything works out. So it's a lot of work, and we still have a lot of work to do. So
yeah, the one thing that I've learned throughout this whole process is that this shit is so much easier with a fucking team. Because if you're doing it by yourself, good luck, because shit's gonna be difficult. But I mean, it's always gonna be worth it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day.
Anybody that's doing it by themselves, it's just, you do need to have a team, or initially, if it's just yourself, you got to do what you got to do at the end of the day. But slowly but surely build a team, or build a list of resourceful people that you can always reach out to for X, Y, and Z, because it can be a very strenuous process trying to do all of this alone. So I think just from having even the conversations that we'd be having off camera and everything, off mic, like that shit in itself I think is golden, just in terms of our expectations moving forward, and in terms of the future. So it takes a lot, but anybody that's doing it on their own, I salute you, and trust me, you'll get to it. It's just persistence. That's all I can say.
Absolutely.
I was like, yeah, I heard what he said and all of that. I said I'm saying what he said. That's all that is. Absolutely. Yeah. Whatever he said, yo. It's like,
So,
nah.
so guys, so let the people know how your past week was. But Nigel, what did you do about this past week? Any good news, any great news, any blessed news? Same thing with you, Spence. Let the people know, what has been going on leading on to the first week of August.
I'm here, man. It's just sitting here doing the shit with y'all. I have some obligations next weekend that I got to take care of, and steady looking for jobs because of my one situation. But otherwise, can't complain. And the thing is that, like, for me, I've gotten job offers like all over the place. It's kind of weird. Like, I like the fact that I have freedom. I'm not really in a spot where I have to necessarily take something. So I'm kind of taking my time going through the situation, whatever, trying to pick the best situation for me.
Hey man, just if you're really going through stuff and hard times, and this is not just for you, Nigel, but this is just for anybody out there listening, because 2020 has been a rough year and it has been a challenging year for a lot.
Crazy year.
Yeah, just you could always reach out to us. You can always send us a DM or a tweet or anything like that if you ever need anybody to speak to or talk to about anything. And we joke a lot, and we're not guys that we're like, okay, hey, just listen to us, just be a fan of our product. Just no, we're people too. So definitely come and speak with us if you ever having a rough day. We want you to be a part of us, part of the journey that we're going through, and we want you to feel like you know us as well. So if you're going through anything rough, definitely reach out to us at all, at any time, I should say.
Even if that means waking him up in the middle of the night. Lau's answering your call like it's 911, bro. 3:30 in the morning, hit Lau up. Call him through Instagram.
Yes, call me through Instagram. You'll get the do not disturb, but it'll get the call will go through. You will not be blocked.
Jesus.
Yeah, but nah, for real though, 2020 has been like a crazy year so far though. I ain't gonna hold you.
How's your week been, though?
Damn, my week went by fast, bro. Like I've just been busy with work, honestly. So like I haven't really been. My week was pretty chill for the most part. Like, I ended up buying some lobsters over this weekend. So, well, over the week. So, which was an experience in itself. Never had to deal with live lobsters before. So, we bought like a bunch of them, and I just had to cook all of them shits. So,
I saw somebody tweeting about lobsters. They're like, imagine just living your life and you're just sitting there and like nobody's really bothering you. And like there's a few things out there. And then you get up above the water and somebody's just trying to crack you open and take the meat out of your body.
God, jeez, yo, you know what's crazy? When I actually, because I had like a cooler full of lobsters, because I had like 10 or 15 lobsters or whatever, right?
Okay.
And they're all alive. So when I went to grab one, luckily they had bands on their claws. But like as I was taking each one, like they're moving and all of this stuff, and I'm like, damn. I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, they're chilling in this cooler, it's mad dark. And then all of a sudden, they're probably thinking, like, yo, I was in the water chilling. Now I'm in some dark cooler. I don't know what the hell's going on. And all they probably hear like their friends screaming when I'm throwing them into hot water.
That's how vegetarians and vegans are. They always give that nightmarish kind of view on what you're doing to an animal or a living thing when you eat it.
In the
Describe that.
in the
But I
back of
mean,
my mind, all I can think is how good they'll taste some butter.
Jeez.
That's it. Butter all day.
Nah, see, to me, like, and maybe that's like the thing for me, because I had one of those moments when during the week actually, like I was eating a burger and I was just like, yo, I don't want to eat this anymore, like because I like with the lobsters, I really said to myself, I was like, yo, imagine being a human, and imagine you just chilling in the crib, you walk in the street, you say, yo, mom, I'm about to go to the store, I'll be back, and then someone just snatches you and harvests your body for food, like. And it's just normal. Imagine if a hand came out the sky and we found out that we were just living in the sea of space, and like a hand just came out the sky and just grabbed Nigel by the head and just cracked his head open and said,
Jesus.
"Yo," it said, "Yo, man, I'm about to eat the hell out of this. Oh, make sure you gut them first. You can't eat the guts."
Bruh, I mean, we'd just be fucked then. There's nothing we could do. Just like these, there's nothing that they could do except just not get caught by the net. Unfortunately,
Jeez.
I'm not trying to be fucked up, but it's like it's the food chain thing, right? Human beings are at the top of the food chain, so there's no living species that hunts human beings and eat them. You know what I mean? Yes, there's things that can eat a human being like bears and sharks and shit, but they're not specifically like, hey, human beings is what we have to fucking eat to survive.
I mean,
Right.
50 Cent once said he hunts people down for sport. So
I think Prodigy said that he eats humans.
you said what?
Prodigy did say that he hunts humans. He
Are you serious?
I'm like relatively sure that's a lyric. Like if I'm not mistaken, that might not be Prodigy. I gotta look that up.
I think it was on the Albert Einstein thing, one of the song Breeze or one of the songs. He was like, "Yeah, I hunt humans."
Oh wow. I mean, hey, even I'm not sure you familiar with the rapper Young Pappy.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, from Chicago. Like even like I think it was even some of his music, like because he would talk bad about like his ops or whatever, right? And like I think like it made it sound like they were hunting humans in Chicago because it was just like, yo, they just consider it like being on the scoreboard. Oh, like we down, yeah, they took one of ours, so we down 3 right now. It's like, yo, so we just got to get them back.
It's very dark and very tragic.
Yeah, like I don't know if you heard about like just like it's just like the rapper King Von. I kind of felt done one of these YouTube wormholes one day, and I'm not even gonna say too much in terms of like what they say about King Von in terms of like what he was doing prior to rapping.
Okay.
But long story short, it just let you, it kind of gave you, it was a real deep insight into like I guess his life. Somewhat this documentary I seen was like about his life and a lot of deaths that have been around him, long story short, in terms of him defending himself or murder charges or whatever. And I'm just like, yo, at 14, 15, 16 years old, you shouldn't have to be dealing with like it's crazy how much someone has to deal with some shit like that.
Yeah, a lot of them Chicago artists dealt with that. Like Fredo, he came out and said that that's what led to his lean abuse and all that. Try to get away from the pain. And if I'm not mistaken, G Herbo, similar situation. So they all go through their own way of trying to suppress the pain because there was like a lot of violence that traumatized them at early ages.
Fact. That's a fact. But that's why luckily, I don't know if you heard, but like even like someone like G Herbo though, right?
Yeah.
Like, luckily, I guess he's made it far enough in his career that I'm assuming he's probably gotten therapy for a lot of his like trauma or whatever. Because you know how he's had music that's talked about like PTSD and shit like that.
Yeah.
He actually created a program for children in Chicago. It's called like Swerving Through Stress.
Yeah.
That's great.
And help give them like therapeutic measures just to help them through like the trauma that they experience in their neighborhood
I think that's good because that's a form of giving back to the community,
in a
and
way that's necessary.
I believe that rappers should be praised for that. They should be
Facts.
praised for doing, and that should be highlighted more. I mean, I understand it. It's great to talk about the jewelry, the cars, the women, the clothes, but when you have rappers coming out with programs to help others in the community, especially the youth, right? Because that's the next coming generation to help push the world forward. That's a good thing to highlight. That's a good thing to push. So definitely big shouts out to G Herbo for that. That's a great look.
Big facts. That is a huge thing, and I completely agree with you because like those are like the things that artists unfortunately just never get told about or get told like hey or get praised for rather of saying like yo this person is doing something very commendable in their neighborhood or in their environment in a way of outside of just like the stereotypical things which are always good as well of like giving back in terms of back to school stuff for holidays for food or whatever and gifts like being able and those things are really great and those things help. I think those things benefit children and the parents, but this is like I think this is just another way of segueing these kids into better opportunities. And just because when you address your traumas of child, because I think most adults are messed up because a lot of childhood traumas they have that they just never they never address, right? So having a kid that grows up in like the stuff we were talking about in those type of war zones, essentially, it's a different level of trauma for one. And then on top of it, when you try to, for someone that's able to transcend from those environments into something else, you still have to address those traumas, because how you're raised, it follows you at the end of the day. Who you are, what you've always done, and your belief systems, they follow you at the end of the day. So, and a lot of times your belief systems and your movements and actions are based off of like your environment more often than not. So
Correct.
I think people should seek out therapy on a regular basis, like even if you're not going through a traumatic experience, because I feel like we all need that outlet to kind of talk and get your feelings out and to kind of sort through things. I think the mental is something that people don't spend enough time really taking care of. You know what I mean? Like we take care of our bodies, but sometimes we need to take care of our mind. And, not only teach ourselves new things, but also just make sure that we're all right. And even when we're all right, just make sure that, we're keeping checkups with ourselves the same way we go to a doctor and make sure our blood pressure is fine. Just make sure that, hey, we're okay. Make sure we're all right. So I think it's great, honestly. I think everybody should go and seek therapy.
yeah, I mean, I hear therapy does worlds of wonder for a lot of people. Even I've met people before that have told me they've gone to therapy. And actually, I remember this girl in particular. She would speak to me about, like, I could tell like those moments of clarity came from going to a therapist, and a lot of things had to deal with like her addressing certain traumas from her childhood and so on and so forth. Long story short, without not really getting into someone's business, but yeah, I
Right.
totally agree. Like, I think, granted, I understand what my stance might have seemed last week when we talked on the whole Kanye thing. But like, I'm still I'm an advocate for mental wellness.
Right.
Like, I still think Kanye was faking it, but I'm a strong advocate for mental wellness, long story short. So like, just make sure you get help. And even if you have a friend that seems like they're going through something, make sure you hit them up, see what's going on with them, see how they feeling, because life is just real. Life is really hard, and mental illness is can be very devastating to many people. That's just like, and I know we didn't have it on here, but I remember last week when that whole Nick Cannon stuff was going on. One of his artists actually committed suicide, I believe,
Right.
because I know he had like a long history of that, of trying to commit that. So it's always making sure you check up on your quote unquote strong friends.
Yeah.
But just check up on everybody and check up on yourself, because sometimes you gotta know when to say no.
So I'm not sure if y'all have been paying attention to the news and whatnot, seeing as everything's
Just
going
like the
on.
president.
Well, I mean,
Say no.
they you figure people check up on him, but nobody has, or if they have, then we don't know about it. He is talking about banning TikTok.
Let him ban it. I mean, to me, I this is my stance on it. Everybody I see some people getting upset about it, but I mean, he wants to ban it because it's a Chinese made app, and it's just kind of like, okay, you know what I mean? China, they've banned Facebook, Google, all sorts of other American shit. So
Really?
yeah, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they've banned. You can't go on those websites over there in China, unless, of course, you hack your way through the server, pick up another
Really?
country server, all that shit. Yeah, but the average person doesn't know to do that.
Right.
So
Right.
that shit is banned over there. So if he wants to ban a Chinese made app, fuck it.
But
It is.
I think part of it has to do with it being Chinese, but also like, TikTok is banned in like several countries as well, right? Like,
I didn't know it was banned elsewhere neither, but
yeah, I think it's been banned twice from India. When it first came out on the scene, I know it was banned from India. Then they brought it back, and then it got banned again. I think it's banned. It's banned in a couple countries. I can't name them. I can't name them offhand, but I've definitely read of like a handful of countries that have banned them. But it's mainly because of them pulling code from people, like
Oh, really?
taking information. Yeah.
That sounds about right,
So
though.
Yeah, that's why, like, I'm not sure if you saw, but even I saw something on MSNBC, I believe, that said that they were actually that even in the military now, like they said, or they made something about any military personnel, they can't have TikTok on their phone. If you work at Google, you can't have TikTok on your phone. If and there's some other big brands. I don't want to name them and be wrong on some of them, but I know there's some other big brands that were highly favored, that we highly favor, that actually been cut as well. So it's all due to the fact that they're pulling information, they're stealing information from people and trying to use it for whatever they want.
Here's my thing, right? Like me personally, I don't care. I don't use TikTok. You know what I mean? I understand why some people care. I mean, obviously, it's like a popular like platform for people to go on there and do their dances and shit and blah blah blah. Okay, cool, that's fine. But it's like with it being a security risk, like I understand some people don't care about that and some people are ignorant to that fact. But wouldn't you think it's more important to possibly get that off your phone than to have it on there?
It depends. It depends. If you're a creator, probably not. Because I know recently I saw an article probably about 2 weeks ago that said that some company actually was getting together with creators on TikTok so they can actually start making money.
I mean, you could do
So
that on any platform though. Like, you
I
know what I
mean,
mean?
you can, but you can't, because like you look at someone like Tabitha Brown, right?
Okay.
I think Tabitha Brown was making the same videos that Tabitha Brown was making on TikTok. She was making on her on her Instagram page, and they weren't cutting through until her TikTok started popping. Where she created her TikTok, started putting her cooking videos on there, and then I think she started putting them on her Instagram page, and it cut through her TikTok because it started breaking through on Twitter. So like I think create like some people, I think that's just how it works sometimes. Like I think once you create something, you can transcend into to another platform if necessary, because of like when you look at people from the Vine era.
Right.
I think when you're building a brand, it would be hard to say like, yo, let me just switch. I can just build this brand somewhere else. It'd be like us being at 10,000 listeners and then saying, or five, let's say 7,000 listeners, right? And just saying, hey, we're moving to something different tomorrow.
You're going on radio now.
Yeah. And it's like, and it's a small radio station.
Yeah, that would be kind of shitty for us. But
Yeah.
I mean, I see what you're saying. I mean, maybe those people will go to Bite. Just go to Bite.
Yeah. Byte is actually created by the dude that created Vine, right?
Yep, I do.
Yeah.
I knew
Yeah. I
about it for a
think
while. But see, the thing is, when the dude was trying to make Bite like a little bit more popular, TikTok had already had a little bit of a grip on that Vine like crowd. You know what I mean? But now that TikToks might be having this issue, like maybe Bite might be able to come in and give a little bit of competition. That being said, I don't know how the apps work like in comparison.
Well, I was going to say that Instagram, they're looking at to do similar features that TikTok is doing. So if Instagram ends up getting their own version of TikTok on however they're going to present it, that might change the game too. Because if TikTok is done, let's say it's get banned or whatever, I could see people just going over Instagram and not even thinking about Byte.
Yeah, I mean, and that more I can see that happening if Facebook's able to take advantage of that. But or Instagram, because Facebook owns Instagram, but
Yeah.
if Instagram's able to take advantage of that, I can see that like just eclipsing Byte. But I don't know how exactly they would. I don't even know exactly how they would add that into what Instagram is. I just can't see how you would add that into what Instagram is, because it's those what minute long clips of, I think Vine was what, 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to, you can integrate something that's a 6 second clip into your story or something like that, but to actually have it where it's similar in that grid format as Instagram, I mean, if anybody can figure it out, is Mark Zuckerberg and his team, but that's gonna be hard. To be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft ends up buying them. Honestly,
I, I don't think it's hard to integrate it. I think it'll probably be more kind of way how they want to present it, right? Because it's just the software that they built for the TikTok. It's not like groundbreaking software,
Right.
yeah, right?
It's just that like, hey, how do we want to present it so this way people doesn't get confused on what we already have?
Didn't Instagram buy Vine, if I'm not mistaken?
Well, Facebook did.
So
Well,
why
Twitter
don't
did.
Twitter bought Vine?
Yeah.
Well, I guess that would work for them if they try to bring Vine back, maybe like some type of app or some type of like capability of Twitter. Like I was thinking Facebook or Instagram could do that, but if they have it, then they can make that work in their favor.
They could, but I think for them to bring Vine back, I don't even know how that would work because they would probably actually have to get the CEO of Byte to really help them with that. Or well, I mean, you might not need someone from Byte to help you push that forward, but I think it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I don't think people would be as receptive to Vine now if Vine came back because the guy that created Vine, he created Vine too. Also, he created something called V2, which was Vine too, and it didn't catch hold of people either.
Really.
So yeah, like because I end up looking some of the stuff up, and I was like, nah, like I don't think Vine, if they were to bring Vine back, I don't think it would work necessarily. I think it's and going back to what Lau was saying with Instagram, I think I think the software isn't anything complicated, but I think in terms of the change that will have to be made on the user end, right? To navigate that portion of it may make it less receptive just because a lot of times people can be very resistant to change into some sense.
Right.
So
Yeah, you're right. People are like when Facebook first got the story thing from Snapchat, how Snapchat they were doing it. People weren't fucking with Facebook with that. Oh, I'm staying on Snapchat. Now you don't hear anybody really talking about fucking Snapchat, even though Snapchat is still around.
yeah, like I mean, to me, honestly, I ain't gonna well, I don't really use Facebook like that anyway.
Yeah.
Like not,
I mean,
but
It's just a way to communicate for me for the most part. Same way I
yeah,
do on everything else. Like Instagram and Twitter are the things I use more than anything else at this moment.
yeah. Like I think Instagram, like Twitter and Instagram are my primaries, and then YouTube, and then like I'll use Facebook just to like maybe say something to like family or something.
It's
But
weird that you say that because like YouTube is kind of like a social like media thing, and I don't think people really consider it to be that more or less like than a video sharing app. But it's like it as much as it is that it is a social media platform as well.
it is.
yeah, I was gonna say it is because you could post pictures, you could comment on people's shit, you could send messages. All you could do the same shit you could do on Instagram, except YouTube is bigger because you could post 2 hour fucking videos on there and shit like that. And,
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, on top of it, I think just their comment section is just more. I feel like it reminds me more of like just a blog, kind of
fair enough.
like the chat room, kind of not a chat room, but like those blog spaces. Because like I look at some place like a place like Reddit, right? Reddit has seemed to be making like a huge reemergence to some extent, and all it is just message boards. But the differences between YouTube and Reddit is just the fact that you get a video and a message board. So, because you'd be surprised at if you really go through those comments, you'd be surprised at the stuff you find.
It's crazy because on YouTube and Reddit, you could find like really cryptic shit like that. Like for example, let's say I'm watching a music video and this beat. If you go through the YouTube comments, somebody will let you know like, "Hey, this beat was actually sampled from this."
Yeah,
Shit like that.
yeah, it's that type of stuff like that, which I think is real dope because I've found actually some really good songs that have came from someone leaving a comment like that.
Yep.
So like that's dope. And on top of it, I think the cool thing about YouTube is when because I've been big lately on trying to look at just watch a lot of videos from like 2007, 2008, 2006, and even seeing comments then it's just very you can tell it's like two different platforms now because back then it was very much more of a message board and people just kind of random people just speaking and now it's very more internet babyish, but it's one of those situations where you recognize like YouTube, like what YouTube is and has became is just it honestly I think it may be number two personally in terms of social media apps if we really treat it as a social media app, if anything.
I think if we on the social media sense, yeah, I think YouTube would probably be number two.
I remember when I was watching through these old videos, right? I end up going through like my old history of like favorite rap freestyles and all of this. I end up seeing like this old freestyle Vado, right? And this is when it reminded me of like when he was like scorching hot, bro. Like there was a moment in time where like I guess he was hot. I'm assuming he was hot in New York because he was with Cam, and then he ended up sliding off to who was it, DJ Khaled, I think.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, so like he had a good run. He had like a small run in like 2011, 2012, I think. But he had like some old videos, and you even looking through those comments, you could see people saying like, "Yo, he's this, like this dude's nice. He's gonna be the future." Da da da. And I'm like, "Oh, this is." I was like, "Man, I was like, damn, I wish he had blown up bigger, right?" And then ironically, I go on Twitter, I think, and I see him because I'm not sure if you know about him and Tahairy or whatever her name is. Let me not say it like that, but Tahairy, they doing like some couple show or some shit like that, and
It's
he ended
marriage
up
boot
like
camp,
trying.
right?
That's what it is, yeah, marriage boot camp, and he ended up like trying to choke her or grab her up or some wild shit like that while she was talking. Come to find out, it was because he threw an apple at her. She threw an apple at him, but I was just like, damn, son fell from his fall from greatness. It's got to be hard, yo.
It's just kind of interesting because, like, I mean, it more or less than anything else, like what I take from the apple throw and the choking, like, is just that they just have a toxic relationship. Now, I mean, there are relationships where people hit each other all the time, and that's just what they do. There's some couples that just fight. I'm not saying it's the right thing, not saying it's the wrong thing. It's just the way they kind of live. But if I had to assume from watching those videos, they're not the type of couple that's just okay with hitting each other. So it's one of those things where it's like y'all don't need to be in that. Like y'all don't have to be in that situation.
Well, I mean, one, I don't feel bad for neither of them because two, they signed the fucking contract saying I want to be on this trashy reality TV shit. Whatever the fuck happens, they brought it onto themselves. Now, when we remove reality from it, right? When we remove real life from it, the situation is wrong on both ends, right? Because like, yeah, he like hemmed her up, but what I didn't care for was the fact like, even though he was wrong, I didn't care for like to hear being like, oh well, you know, this is what I deal with, and she tried to play innocent, and then of course, two sides to every story. They show a video of her just, you know, pitching fucking apples at his face and all that stuff like that. And I mean, doesn't excuse him for hemming her up, but she's wrong too because she's attacking the nigga as well. So I just look at it as kind of like that when that shit was being posted. I'm kind of like, this is a way for motherfuckers to start a fucking debate about men beating women or domestic relationships and domestic violence based relationships. And I'm just like, the shit is not cool. And when you see shit like that on these bullshit shows, Love and Hip Hop and Marriage Boot Camp and all that, and Couples Island and all that VH1 shit, you start that's what that is. Because out of those shows, let's be real, and I don't even have to watch it. The purpose of Marriage Boot Camp, assuming, all right, you have these fucking couples who are going through a rough fucking time, and we're going to put them in an area, and we're going to put the camera in front of them on how they fucking argue with each other. Do you expect anything positive coming out of there? 90 to 100% of the time the show? No, it's fucking drama filled. So when people see that shit, I don't understand why people get arms in the air. I'm like, are you that surprised? I'm like, look at the show that you're watching, bro. You know what I mean? It's not like you're watching C-SPAN and all of a sudden you see fucking you see fucking a man beating up a woman on C-SPAN. That's not
wow.
Yeah, that's something to fucking go home about. I mean, but you're watching fucking reality TV, bro. It's drama, bro. Everything about it's been happening since the real world till now. Like,
That's
ain't you're gonna see this shit all the fucking time.
I think that conversation in itself, I think is just, yeah, you're going to see that all the time, but the issue comes in, I think, a lot when it's not who you expect, right? It'd be like if I saw Kendrick Lamar on one of those shows, right?
All right.
I would never, I was still, though I know that type of stuff happens, I would still, all of us would be shocked if we saw Kendrick Lamar grabbing his girl up and beating the shit out of her,
Yeah,
right?
that would be wild. I'd be like, whoa, like who would have thought? I mean, for real though, who would think? Like, you know what I mean? It just doesn't seem like the type.
Exactly. And like, don't get me wrong, like, to me,
Anybody's
Vado
capable of it.
Exactly. Anybody's capable of it. Anybody. And like it's always two sides to a story. But even like with someone like Vado, right? Like I think the image that Vado keeps for himself is what I think made people so shocked, to be honest. Or like also knowing like when you look at Tahairy, like it's so many things that go into this. Like when you look at Tahairy and knowing like, oh, how did you fall from your graces to being on a show like this? And you used to be with Joe Budden, and Joe Budden's like on the top of the world right now.
Right.
It's like he's going up and you're kind of going down. So it's like, yo, fam, like this is just it's just so messy across the board.
Well,
And I think that's why people are probably more shocked, if anything, because we know most of this shit is scripted.
Right.
Well, here's the thing. Like, there's two things about this. One, like, at the end of the day, like, we don't know any of these people, right? So it's like behind closed doors, who knows how they are with each other? Like, maybe it never gets that heated, or maybe it gets more heated, but we'll never know because we never see it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Two, I've been seeing a lot of people saying like, oh, VH1's wrong for putting this out. I don't blame VH1 at all. If I had a show and you give me that, then I'm gonna put that shit out too.
Exactly.
If we had some editor doing this shit and they decided to have us saying some wild shit on there, it's our fault because we gave it to them, and that's just it. You know what I mean?
Boom. That's what I was saying earlier, bro. And it's not only VH1's fault, but I just felt like you have fucking Vado and Tahairy. They signed on the fucking dotted line. They weren't born the day before they signed. They know clearly, hey, we're probably gonna be some shit where some drama is fucking involved. Yes, I'm gonna do this for a paycheck.
I don't even think they're like together, to be honest with you. Like I think this is all for a look that kind of went.
Look.
Yeah, it's a crazy look. I think. All right, so look, this is how I look at like when I'm watching this, right? Because I agree with everything you guys are saying. You sign up to be on this, you understand. Like I would never sign up for meeting the car, not even them. Like Love and Hip Hop, right? I would never sign up for Love and Hip Hop, and then be shocked when some BS is going on because it's Love and Hip Hop. Like Mona Scott's gonna make sure Mona's gonna make sure it's some shit happening. So like I agree with that, but I also think like I look at like an artist like Cardi B, right? Like she would like though to me and though like there's people that remember her from just being an internet girl on Instagram. She eventually evolved into being like she got a lot more notoriety once she got on that Love and Hip Hop show, whatever show that was, right?
Yeah.
So and she had I think what was it like the whole she beef with me, we beefing forever type shit. And that
Right.
kind of it helped her along with her getting into fights and shit. My question after seeing all this was, is it ever worth the look? Like
No,
in order,
absolutely not.
I mean,
Well, you can't say that, right? Because like Spencer's brought up a great thing. Look at Cardi B, bro. Like Love and Hip Hop helped her to get to the
catapulted.
Yeah, I'll put it like this: it's great for people who are unknown because you're getting exposure that you were never getting before. Now, if it's something like like imagine Joe Budden going back to Love and Hip Hop. You know what I mean? It'll be kind of like, bro, like you doing your damn thing with the Spotify shit. Why are you going to Love and Hip Hop? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
I don't
like,
think it would matter for him.
okay, fine. Let me say Joe Rogan. Let's say Joe Rogan is going on the real. Like
All
that's
right.
Joe Rogan on Real World.
yeah.
I get what you're saying, but go ahead.
So
Joe Rogan on Love and Hip Hop.
That shit would be wild, man. It's like, what the fuck are you doing here, man?
Yo, he would
Seeing
be
his
late
bald
kicking
ass,
everything.
like
nobody could really fuck with him, bro. He'd beat the shit out of all the guys on the show, for real.
Facts.
But I guess it's really 50-50, right? Like you're gonna go on some of these shows and you're gonna like come out a little bit better than what you came in, because like let's look at it, for example, right? Flavor Flav.
Okay.
Flavor Flav went on to Real Life. Then he had that show like Mixed Love or whatever with the I can't remember her name.
Flavor of Love.
Before that. So before it was Flavor of Love, it was a other show with the chick that he was on Surreal Life with.
Oh, it was kind of like a boot camp joint, right?
Nah,
it was
it was called like Strange Love or some shit like that.
No, it was with the blonde chick, right? With the Bridget chick, right?
Yeah, Bridget Nelson, I think her name is. And he was on that show first, and then that led to Flavor of Love. And we all know Flavor of Love. We don't have to get into that. How much of a successful that was at the time, which spawned like
all the shows.
Yeah, a whole bunch
All
of
the
shows.
I think Flavor of Love was around before The Bachelor.
Yeah, I think so too. Flavor of Love kind of started a lot of the shit that's going on today as far as reality.
Yeah, it hands down it has. It's literally it honestly when we were talking about like the whole Twitter, Instagram thing and Twitter being the spawn, like Flavor of Love might have really given birth to all of like these shows for the most part.
Oh no, Flavor of Love definitely helped out with that shit for sure. Like it helped them. Like it's just one of those things where I guess my point is that at the end of the day, you can come out looking like somebody who's on the way to some shit, or somebody who looks like, oh, okay, I'm just here and I might come out worse or the same as I came in.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. Like I think I think someone like Vado, right? Like I was saying, he was lit in his city at one point, from what it looks like. He was lit when he did the album. He was with Cam. He signed to Cam. It didn't really go how he thought it would go. DJ Khaled, that whole thing. I think they did one song together. It didn't work out. And Vado's just never really had any. Like he's never really had an esteemed career, even within his tier of music, right? Even within the tier of music that he raps in, right?
Right.
So to some extent, he's kind of, for a lack of better terms, because I know who he is, but he's kind of like a nobody. Like the people watching that show, they don't know who he is. When I'm using the term, I think nobody's a bad term to use. Like he's not relevant.
Right. Yeah, there's no kind way to say it, unfortunately, with what you're trying to say. Yeah,
it's like he's not relevant to the people that watch the show. When it comes to the look, maybe the look is, in his situation, the look is worth it because he's being introduced to a whole plethora of people that he's never had a chance to be in front of. But the only downside is, for the look, sometimes in his case, he tarnished his brand, basically, because Vado's always been known as like just the cool, laid back guy. Like that's his image in music. And now it's like, oh, like you got mad because she threw an apple at you, but not like she threw the apple at you. Then she threw the apple, and then like they cut to another scene. So even if this is like 5 minutes later, like she's just talking. This shit looks wild.
Yeah,
she's just talking. Crazy. She's just talking, and then out of nowhere, he's like a pit bull that just lost it. It's like, yo, I'm about to don't you ever put. It's like, fam,
man, all for the fucking ratings.
Yeah, like to do it for the look, I would just tell someone, if you're gonna do it for the look, just make sure it's worth it, because the look, like you said, it can help you or it can hurt you, depending on what your situation is.
Yeah, but with that being said, let's put this disclaimer out there. We do not support domestic violence in no shape or form. We're totally against it 100%. So please do not misconstrue anything that we were saying in this discussion.
We don't fool with it. We don't rock with it.
No.
If you out here putting your hands on women, if you out here racing chicks, if you out here hitting the chick for no reason, I ain't even gonna say nobody else's name. Facts.
There you go.
Simply put, we don't like it. Nah, man. Like, look, we respect women over here, and we take that shit very seriously. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just the way it is. Like, we all have moms. We all love our moms. We would never put our hands on our moms.
That's true.
Ever. And if somebody did, we'd fuck them up. Period.
Thanks.
Nigel said that, he's going to make sure that he let all 16 out of the glit,
He put 40 and 16, man.
Yeah, he said that Nigel said he will do the time. Oh. He's ready.
Yo, did you see Yo, did you see that video I sent y'all with the battle rap and shit?
No, what happened?
Oh, nah, it was like rebuttals, and the dude was saying something about you're 40, something about 40 and 16. He said, well, I'll put 40 and 16. Now I'll show you a R. Kelly.
That's kind of wild, though.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Like that's cool. It's just like, damn. Since we're talking about, people saying wild things and whatever, and just
Just
the mental
not-
state. Yeah.
Let me not say he's soft.
The mental state of entertainers. We had Logic, and he came out and he like kind of responded to some past comments that Joe Budden had to say about him. He was on I think he was on Hot 97 talking to Rosenberg, and said that some of Joe Budden's comments made him depressed and made him feel like he wanted to kill himself.
And that's honestly, I'll say this part, right? I have mixed emotions on this whole thing.
Okay.
I'll say this part. He has the right to feel the way he wants to feel, right?
Okay.
He has the absolute right to feel the way he wants to feel because of that significance. Because that's the way he internalizes words is the way he internalizes words. But my only issue with his gripe is because he's saying like that. Because I'm an avid listener of the Joe Budden podcast, huge fan, been fans for years, right? And I've probably heard every single thing he said about Logic over the years. Prior up to like maybe his last episode, I've heard everything he said about Logic. And everything he said about Logic has been based off what the content Logic puts out. He puts the content out, and me and Lau were talking about this. So, and like I said, this is where I agree with you. The content Logic puts out in his music is the strife and the plight of being a biracial child, right? A child that's half white and half black, and having the skin complexion of a Caucasian man. Like, with that being his plight, he's talked about this a lot in his music. So Joe Budden, just like other people that may not be a fan of his music, see where that's a lot of the subject matter that he talks about. So if someone tells you, yo, like, oh, I don't feel like hearing that, or oh, that's all you're going to talk about. No one wants to. I'm not going to say no one wants to hear it, but I feel like you shouldn't be. I feel like you should be able to take a critique at the end of the day, and you have to understand, like, yo, this, like, everybody has a right to an opinion at the end of it when it's all said and done, bro. Like, Joe Budden saying whatever he has to say about your album doesn't fluctuate your numbers. It might actually help your numbers, to be honest with you.
So, I when that headline came out through social media, Joe Budden is part of the reason why I'm retiring, and he's added to my depression and all that. I was like, okay, let me watch this shit. So I watched it, and I'm kind of like, all right, this is a narrative that has been twisted, right? Joe Budden is attacking Logic as a person. He's not attacking him. He's not saying like, well, Logic is this black and white person that, he's lower than what's on the bottom of my shoe. He's not saying that. And it was kind of like what Spence said. He's talking about just the music, And let's be real. Yes, Logic can rap. ABC 1, 2, 3. Fuck you and fuck me, right? Logic can rap. But
a lot that.
but Logic, the nigga, he does talk about, I'm black and I'm white. I'm black and I'm white. I'm black and I'm white. Bruh, we get it. You're mixed. Just like other rappers in the rap game. You're mixed, bro. We fucking get it. Imagine if Drake talked about his fucking mixed shit all the time.
Or J. Cole.
Or J. Cole. You know what I mean? Like, bro, we fucking get it. And on top of that, we fucking get it. We don't have a fucking problem that you're mixed. It's like, we don't care, bro. Like, is your music good or not? Like, that's what us fans care about. We don't care about the fact that you're black or white or you're mixed.
Well, I partially agree with you on that. Partially only because, and I only say that because I know music is a form of expression, right?
Right.
Okay.
And maybe this is partially being devil's advocate on this, but music is a form of expression. So you have, like, when you're creating music, he's built his fan base up based off these things, I'm assuming. Like, okay. Nigel probably knows better than I do because I'm not the biggest fan of this.
I was about to chime in. I was gonna let you say what you had.
Well, go ahead. Well, I'll let you go ahead.
So,
because I know you know more about him than I do.
Right. So, like, I've been listening to Logic for a little bit of time now, and I think it's fair to say that I probably listen to him like more than y'all do, right? And here's what I'll say about like his whole biracial raps. I think at a point in time, probably the peak of his career. And I think I'll say the peak of his career is around everybody. The whole, like, he put out the Suicide Number song, like all that shit. That album in particular, he did talk about being,
Lucas.
yeah, well, that one. But he did talk about being biracial quite a bit on that album. Now, has he said it throughout his career? Yes. But that album in particular, he really went out of his way to say, hey, I'm mixed. Da 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 da. It's like, okay, when you're talking about that part of his career, it's like, all right, cool, I get that. I'm not gonna say anything because I didn't like that shit either. It was annoying. But what I will say is that if you look at the span of his career, like, I think what I can say more or less than anything is that he's a talented rapper. And like, I think that's why I don't necessarily harp on the I'm black thing, because like, yeah, that was a point in time in his career, but it doesn't define his career unless you're just only talking about that part.
Yeah, but I think, and I guess that's the thing from like the casual fan, right?
Okay.
Like similar to like when we talk about UFC and stuff, right? Like you have
Right.
the guy that's a casual fan that only knows 3 fighters.
Okay.
And from a casual fan standpoint of listening to Logic's music, that's all I hear. Like, because I'll be honest with you, I've listened to some of Logic's albums,
Right.
but to me, like, I think when I heard the race joint, I was just like, okay,
it's annoying.
Cool, I get it. And then it's like, oh, okay, cool, I get it. Cool, I get it. It's not like, and granted, maybe his demographic is much closer to Russ than it is to Benny the Butcher.
I can understand that. That's fair enough.
Yo, Lyle's face.
Yeah. Well, no, hold on. Let me respond, because like, Lyle, let me say something for you, because I know you're about to say something, right? Damn, I forgot my train of thought. Go ahead, Lyle.
Logic is a mixed guy, but his music panders to Caucasian people. And I'm not saying that to be like prejudice or anything like that, but it's the truth, right? Because like every time I put it like this, you don't hear black media promote Logic's music like that at all, and when black media does speak of Logic's music, they always criticize him of the same things that he's always been criticized for. Like,
well, maybe that's part of his point. Like, maybe he feels like he should be promoted in black media because he is a skilled rapper.
But at the same time, though, you should be, right. But if you're pushing your demo to people that are if your demo is less black, right? I guess to say, I don't even know how to say this in the most articulate way, but like if his demographic leans more to that fanfare, you're not going to be seen as much in black media because that's not who you're promoting towards. That'd be like Russ. That'd be like Russ coming out and saying, granted, Russ is white, but like it'd be like Russ coming out and saying like, yo, I'm a rapper, I make good music. And Russ actually does make good music when it's rapping. Like he knows how to talk that shit. Like, but I don't see him being danced around and praised around because he's making a rap album. It's like, yo, and Russ, hands down, I'll be honest, Russ is is a huge artist. When it's also when you look at numbers, he's a huge artist.
Right.
Probably one of the biggest artists right now, honestly, quiet as kept. But I don't hear Russ talking about like, yo, I'm the biggest artist. I'm putting out a hip hop album. Why am I not on publications like I should be? Why is The Source not picking me up? Why is Spiritual World not picking me up? No.
Here's my answer to that, though.
Logic has to get over that.
Here's my answer to that is this, right? Like, while you're right about Russ, but at the same point in time, like, let's think about who, like, Russ has made his way, and he is not really known by, like, I would say a lot of the mainstream. Can we just say that? Like, he has a strong fan base, but he's not like somebody who's like really promoted.
No, he is promoted, bro. Because on the black media outlets that are not promoting him doesn't mean he's not big. Like, look, for example, like, and I'm taking it out of the rap genre. Look at Taylor Swift. You're never going to hear Taylor Swift be talked about on the Breakfast Club or somewhere like the Shade Room.
Okay.
She's doing 800,000, the highest selling fucking album of the year.
But she's promoted though in multiple venues. Like, I don't see Russ's music really put anywhere. That's what I'm saying.
But I can't. But see, my thing is when it comes to Russ. Sorry to cut you off, Loud. The thing with Russ is Russ sold out the Staples Center like 4 days back to back.
And he's doing it on his own.
Yeah, but there, to some capacity, to some capacity, there's a promotion that's going on. Now, is his promotion, is he being promoted like the biggest artist in the game, like someone like Lil Baby, for instance, right?
Okay.
Who's like a very popular artist. No, but I can tell you this much, he's outselling, he'll outsell Lil Baby. He'll outsell Lil Baby and sales and concerts and merch. He'll do all of that. But a lot of his demo isn't catered to us to some extent.
Okay,
right?
But my point in saying that is that Logic has been promoted to a point where he probably feels like he should get a little bit more credit than what he has got. Unlike Russ, who's done it on his own and hasn't got the same promotion, but is still doing fine or whatever. And like, people are going to say what they're going to say about Russ, but the fact of the matter is that at the end of the day, Logic has got more promotion, so he probably feels like, hey, maybe I should get a little bit more credit. You know what I mean?
Is that just entitlement though?
Yeah,
maybe
that's entitlement.
You might be right.
But that's entitlement, and that goes along to, like, I can understand why people don't feel sorry for him.
That's fair enough. I'm not going to say anything about that.
No, we don't support the fact that he feels like he should commit suicide and depression.
Yes.
Like, that's not what we're supporting. But when we remove that, it's like, dude, like, one, we don't have to be a fan of your music, but two, like, your music doesn't cater. It doesn't cater to black people. It doesn't at all.
Well, I'm not. Let's not say it. Let's not say it doesn't cater to black people, because I think I'll say this. I think his demo. I think he has a fair share of his demo that's black, right? But I think his music, from what I've listened to, it caters to black people. But I think it's just not to the extent that. It's not something, to me personally, that like I said before, when I listen to him, I hear a talented rapper, but I don't hear anything that pulls me in. You feel me? Like I can hear it. Like, to me, like I say with Eminem to some extent, I think Eminem's a great rapper, and he has great songs, and he's made some good content over the years. But I think as a whole, like, in terms, I'll say in the past 10 years at least, past 15, like, his music doesn't speak to me personally. And that to me, that's just how I look at it, like that. Like, yo, like, you can make music for that is put in our publications or put in our areas, but it just may not speak to a certain demographic. And I think that's the case. And I think that's the case when it comes to Logic. Like, I think his music, it just doesn't fit. I think he has some sense of entitlement and thinks, hey, because of the type of numbers Logic does, he should be considered. He's in that realm with, like, the Kendricks and Coles and stuff like that in terms of numbers.
I said that a few months ago. I think I was talking to you about this, Lyle, and I think we were talking, like, he could technically be in that realm, like, if we looked at it, but he's not considered there. I think at the end of the day, it sounds like it might be a case of entitlement because, like, let's be real, there's a whole bunch of good rappers out there that aren't getting the shine that they deserve or the accolades that they deserve and aren't doing the numbers that Logic are. So it just is what it is.
Yeah, like, his album in 2017, it sold 250,000 copies in its first week.
It's great.
And it out of 247 album sales, 196,000 of them were all, like, pure album sales. So, like, that's huge for any artist to sell 247. And that, granted, that's 3 years ago, but he's in that. He should be in that echelon. But I think it's sometimes it's like that pick me culture, right? Like, and I'm not sure you guys like pick me culture. Like, you know how let's say you're cool with some girl let's say it's some girl you cool with, right?
Right.
And, like, y'all cool, y'all kick it or whatever, and, like, she's trying to push being your girlfriend, and, like, she's trying to tell you, like, and she knows, like, you might be cool with other girls or whatever, but she's like, yo, like, I do this and this. Like, that's pick me culture to me, because it's like you're trying to give me a reason to say why you should be it. And that's my thing with Logic. Like, it's like a pick me culture thing where it's like, yo, I've done this, and granted, he's not gloating about it, but it's like, yo, I've done this, and this. so I feel like I deserve this level of respect. But you also have to recognize when you get to a certain level, as you get higher up the ranks, and you're putting out music, it's given to people so they have the right to make an opinion. And that's the thing
Right.
that, granted, it's unfortunate because it's a situation that hopefully he doesn't find the need to want to take his life. But in the same regard, it's, you're putting out music that I have the right to make an opinion on.
Not only that, but that's easily one of his worst albums too. Everybody.
Really?
Easily.
That album sold 250,000 copies.
I don't care. I don't care how much albums it sold.
Jesus.
Not good. I'll say that right now, straight up. And I like Logic. Like I said, I like Logic. I listen to all his albums. That's not my favorite. Nowhere near it.
That's crazy. Wow, I'm not a fan of Logic at all, but apparently that's his only platinum album.
It's not that great.
It's probably because, I mean, I could say many things about it, but I think that Suicide song was, garnered a lot of love for that.
I can definitely see that. Like, but I mean, it's unfortunate with the whole Logic thing. Like, it's unfortunate that he feels a need to that he would possibly want to take his life. And typically, you know how you would try to write something off. Like, I think we live in a world today where you have to really be critical of that and understand, like, he might really feel that way. But I also say you have to be open to opinion. Success doesn't come without opinions at the end of the day. That's my whole thing when it comes to it. Or even like you look at like fighters, right? Like you look at, let's say, like Conor and Khabib.
Okay.
Like Conor and Khabib is Khabib's biggest fight, numbers wise, and everything surrounding it. I think it's probably considered his biggest fight amongst, like, when you look at numbers, right?
Okay.
And you're going to peg that up as it's not his hardest fight, but like I don't even want to use him. It's hard using him because he kind of mauls a lot of his opponents. But if, let's say, let's say Tony Ferguson, for instance, right? Actually, you take someone like Tony Ferguson when he fought Gaethje. When Gaethje was beating him, like we thought Tony Ferguson was this big bad dude coming into that fight.
Right.
And it was going to be a hard time for Gaethje. Gaethje didn't have too many problems with Tony throughout the whole fight, right? Now, the issue for Tony will be moving forward, like, you'll only be known for this like, this is the last performance we remember you for. You have to do something that's way better to make us say, oh my God, like, we don't even remember that anymore. Like, it's the way of eclipsing things. In the same way, let's say Justin Gaethje's performance, right? When he fought against Ferguson. We saw Gaethje fight against Ferguson, and we said, that is a great performance. And at the end of the day, you're hopeful and expecting seeing something like that again, right?
Right.
And that's why now there's a thing of Gaethje recognizes, like, hey, I could fight Conor or Khabib. If he fights Conor, or he could fight Conor or Khabib, and he eventually made the decision to fight Khabib because he knows, hey, if he puts on a performance, if he puts on a performance better than what he did against Ferguson, it's going to eclipse it. And the same goes somewhat with Logic as well. So,
well, it looks like they're going to fight in October, Khabib and Justin Gaethje. So, I mean, like, we won't really have to wait too long to kind of figure out as to where they're going to go with that. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But at the same time, like, if he doesn't beat that, like, if he's unable to show that same performance or that same level of performance, like, what?
Nothing. Go ahead. You're good.
No, I was just saying, if he doesn't show the same level of performance, it's a clip at the end of the day. So, but I mean, to be honest with you, I think I'm gonna go with Gaethje on that fight. I mean, we still got a lot of time to see, though.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting fight. Like, and we don't have to hit on it really for too long right now. But I think if Justin Gaethje doesn't beat Khabib, then it's gonna be supposedly they're saying that it might be only one more fight after that. It'll be supposedly GSP if he does beat Gaethje.
You said GSP if he doesn't do Gaethje?
If he does beat Gaethje. So if he'll beat Gaethje and then fight GSP, supposedly.
Oh wow. That actually, I don't know how I feel about that. To be honest with you, I don't know how I feel about that when it comes to him. If Khabib was to fight,
I don't want to see it.
GSP at this, yeah, like I feel like it. I feel like it'd be interesting to watch, but at the same time, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, if he does, let's say if he just is able to maul GSP, right, and he
Right.
just ragdolls GSP, we'll just say, well, he's barely fought in the past past 7 years, I think. He's fought twice in 7 years or some shit like that, or 5 years, and he's getting old. Like, those are going to be the valid excuses if he was to beat GSP. But these are all hypotheticals. So.
Yeah, I just don't see the point. It's like, what would be the point of him fighting GSP? Like, you know what I mean? Like, GSP could just retire right now and never fight again, and we'll all be happy for it.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I mean, I think GSP, I think in terms of a GSP, I think he'll probably, it's a little different. I understand it because it's one of the greatest. So you want to fight or arguably the greatest. So you want to fight him just because. And technically speaking, he's still in shape because he hasn't lost since he's fought since over the past 5 years. He came back and he's did a great performance against Bisping. I'm not too big on it, but I'm curious to see what happens with him and Gaethje first, because that's the first hurdle he'll have to get through, because we had Gaethje, not Gaethje, but Khabib versus Tony as being like a really big favorite, like a big fan favorite fight, and Gaethje kind of put it into that. So
I think Khabib is gonna win, just off. He never lost, so until we see him in some more trouble than when Conor put him in that third round of their fight, it's kind of hard to pick against Khabib, just off because of how dominant his grappling is alone. But I'm rooting for Gaethje 100%. I'm tired of Khabib. I think his championship reign is extremely terrible, and it wasn't a good championship reign, man. I mean, outside of beating Conor and beating Dustin Poirier, that's it. You know what I mean? And it took years for both of them fights to happen. So like, I'm just tired of the Khabib reign, and I'm ready for somebody to come and win and actually defend the title. And fight more than once every year and a half. I'm just tired of that.
But I did hear about my guy Errol Spence. He's getting in the ring with Danny Garcia that actually in November, actually.
Yeah, man. Errol Spence is gonna wash his ass.
That's a fact.
Errol Spence is gonna wash him, and this is the fucking toxic shit about boxing. Like, so if you watch the sport of boxing, I'm not saying Danny Garcia is a bum. He's not, right? He's a former title holder. But compared to Errol Spence, he's a bum. Errol Spence is going to clean him up. And I just wish the politics in boxing wasn't so fucking corrupted and so underworld, like, because we could have already got the fight that everybody in the world wants to see. Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford. That's the only fight that people want to see at that weight class. We don't give a fuck about Danny Garcia. If you're a non-boxing fan, you don't even know who the fuck Danny Garcia is at all.
If you're a non-boxing fan, you probably don't even know who Errol Spence is. Possibly.
No, I mean that's true too. That's true. You know what I mean? But the fight to make is Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford. That's the fight that people has been talking about for like the past couple of years, but because Bob Arum and then the PBC side of things, they don't want to put all these quickie bullshit fights. It's garbage, bro. It's garbage. That's what's killing boxing, bro. It's that.
I feel you on that, but I think, to be honest with you, I think Errol Spence is going to win this fight. But I think it actually makes sense for Errol Spence to fight Danny Garcia first before fighting Crawford, because you realize, because I thought this happened like 2 years ago, but it was last year he got in that car crash from the drunk driving.
Really?
So because after he fought Sean Porter, I think he fought Sean Porter in September, and then like a couple weeks later in October, he got in a bad car crash. But he didn't get. I don't think he got hurt. I don't think he broke any bones or anything. But even then, it's still like a shakeup at the end of the day. That's still to be in a bad car accident, because I think his car was like destroyed pretty much, or got really messed up. At least I know it got really messed up. So I think in his case, this may make sense for him, just so it's kind of like a tune-up fight. Granted,
But
I agree with you.
yeah.
Boxing is corrupted, but I think this is
That,
just like a tune-up fight.
yeah, and I get it, and that's the fucking problem because they're not gonna blatantly come out on TV to like, hey, this is a tune-up for Errol. They're gonna try to make, oh, Danny Garcia, he's this world beater, he's a threat, he's the next guy, he's the next face of boxing. You're gonna do all that bullshit promotion that most people are gonna see past. And it's like we get it. Danny is just, he's a guy. He's a brick in the road just to get stepped on, to further along the drama of Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, and that's the problem with boxing.
You make it sound
Imagine,
like he's Amir Khan.
yeah, I'm just saying, bro. Like, I mean, I know Amir Khan got a glass jaw, but but I'm
Him
just
getting
saying.
knocked out by Canelo is one of my favorites. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Terrence Crawford washed him too, to the point where
true.
he didn't even want to fight neither. But like, yeah, he just didn't come out like, "Hey, you ready to fight?" No, I'm not. I don't want to fight.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah, like, but that's the thing with boxing, man. Imagine if they're like, "Hey, John, we're gonna put you up against, this number 15 guy before you fight the actual contender." You know what I mean? It's. I don't know, man. I just wish boxing would stop that. I wish they stopped that shit 100%, bro. And then and another example of this is like the Tyson Fury Anthony Joshua situation, right? Now the biggest fight that could have been a heavyweight is Joshua and Tyson Fury. But of course, with boxing rules, Deontay Wilder got to get an immediate rematch. Imagine if that happened in the UFC. Every
Terrible.
champion got it. Yeah,
I would hate
exactly.
that shit.
Exactly. Deontay Wilder got to get his immediate rematch, even though his ass got spanked and washed. And then Anthony
There's
Joshua.
rematches closed in UFC fights as well.
No, there's not.
There are. I believe. Even though John won when he fought DC, there was a rematch clause in that. They have rematch clauses in certain fights. In certain UFC fights, there are rematch clauses. Unless I could be wrong, but I could have sworn there were.
The only time somebody's getting an immediate rematch if Dana White wants that immediate rematch to happen.
That's pretty much if they Connor.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the only way you're getting an immediate rematch. You either better be Connor or you better have been champ for a bit of time.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When there was a rematch clause, I forget what fight it was, but when he had a rematch clause, when there was a rematch clause, it was for like one of his known champions. It wasn't like some guy that just won. It wasn't like someone just won the belt and then they defended it for the first time and they lost it. It's not like he was like DC fighting Stipe. You win the belt and then you fight. Well, that was a little different, but it's not like it's just an immediate rematch clause. I think even I think it's not an immediate rematch. I know you have the right to in a rematch though, because I think that was the case for Stipe to some extent.
Yeah, well, that whole Stipe DC trilogy, that's kind of like an oddball situation, right? Because Stipe was like, "Hey, look, I gave him a shot when he didn't really earn one," and DC is kind of like, "All right, I'll fight Stipe," and now DC is begging, like, "Hey, look, I want the shot. Let's end the trilogy," and the UFC kind of pushed that into happen. But usually it doesn't happen like that. Imagine Kamaru Usman lost to Jorge Masvidal. Kamaru Usman is back of the line.
Yep.
Easily. So, despite the fact that Kamaru Usman is on a 12-fight win streak in the UFC, him and Khabib are tied for longest active fight streaks in the UFC. But if Kamaru Usman would have lost, that's it for him. So and that's what I'm saying. Like in boxing, that's the joke. Like Anthony fucking Joshua, he's sitting there and he's fighting a bum. He's fighting some guy like, hey, put some boxing gloves off. You know how to throw a hook and a jab. All right, Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? Like it's a fucking joke.
But see, the thing is with Anthony Joshua, and it still goes with the corruption of boxing, because with Anthony Joshua, I think that a lot of that has to do with his management with Eddie Hearns, because Eddie Hearns picks his fighters. He picks the fights for Anthony Joshua, and someone even broke it. I think it was Tyson Fury broke it down once, because when Joshua fights these cans, he fights them in the UK and he makes like $20 million a fight, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So someone said, think about it. What sense does it make to I'd rather have Joshua fight 6 cans and get $60 million versus him fighting Deontay Wilder when Deontay Wilder was the number 1 guy and him getting $60 million because the risk is much greater. So like I get it. It's messed up. It's completely messed up. It ruins the sport.
Yeah, I was about to say it ruins the integrity of who's actually the best.
True.
And who's actually the best, man. And that's this is the last thing I'll say about boxing. And then we could talk about other sports related things. But another thing I think that taints boxing is the fact that you can have 4 different world heavyweight champions. This is not pro wrestling, bro. This is not a fucking game. The fact that you have Anthony Joshua, who owns 3 of the recognized world heavyweight titles, not including the British heavyweight championship, right? Because that's a fucking thing. Then you have Tyson Fury, who holds the lineal heavyweight championship, and the WE's. Like, who's the real fucking champion at the end of the day? Oh, the real champion, all the belts have to unify. So now we're talking about like 10 belts got to be unified to be declared one fucking shit. Like, that's fucking nonsense shit. That's not. That's like, hey, you beat some bum, and we're going to label you the heavyweight champion of the world. Like, that's nonsense shit. It is.
It is.
You know,
I agree with you on that. I mean, I think I don't know. There's so much. We could probably talk about this forever, to be honest with you. So, like, we'll just leave it at that for right now, because I'll just leave it at this. I agree. Boxing is corrupt, and hopefully, Errol Spence doesn't have a problem. He should be able to walk right through Danny Garcia, to be honest with you. Yeah. And we'll see more as this kind of unfolds over time. So, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I totally agree. Where boxing is a corrupt sport, and on top of it, the whole belts thing is a whole nother. It becomes like when you really decide to dissect a lot of the issues with boxing, it becomes a huge that's like a whole probably hour conversation in itself, probably. So
yeah, you're right, man. You're right.
I was about to say, like, y'all want to talk about the other versus that's happening soon enough? Well, Rick Ross versus 2 Chainz.
Oh yeah, I mean, I got Ross on that one.
Yeah, I got Ross too. It's kind of crazy. Like, when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, these are like two newer artists actually on the versus battle. And I was like, it's kind of cool. But I think Ross kind of I don't want to say he takes it easily, but I think he takes it without much of a problem. You know what I mean?
Oh, no. I think it's going to be a problem for Ross. I think 2 Chainz has way more music than what people, because you got to realize we add features to this as well. So
I know.
He's going to have, it just depends on, I think, I'll put it like this. I think when we doing 20, I think 2 Chainz can compete. Now, if we were doing 40, he's going to get blown out because Ross has way too much material out there.
Here's the thing, right? Like, I think 2 Chainz has enough to, I think, take 10. Like, he can win, honestly. Like, this isn't something that, like, you know, it's going to be like a walk in the park. But I think Rick Ross, at the end of the day, he has enough stuff that'll hit right, that'll be fine, that he'll be all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like Ross is going to win. You could, like, for example, you play Teflon Don, that's majority of the 20 songs right there, and you probably could beat 2 Chainz off of that one album alone. Granted, he has more albums and more hits than just Teflon Don, but that's how I see it. I like 2 Chainz. I think 2 Chainz, he's definitely integral to the trap music genre, but Ross, he just got more. He just got more, man.
Ross, but see, and that's the thing. Ross I agree. Ross does have more, but I'm not right. I can't write Chainz off that easily to say he's gonna get smoked.
No, honestly, he's not gonna get smoked.
Like I'm not, like, to me, I think it's far closer than what y'all realized personally. Like, and we'll probably have to wait to see. We'll have to, because what day does this come on? Like, I think Tuesday, right, or Monday?
I thought it was Wednesday. I mean, if it's not one of those days, I don't know when the fuck that thing's going on.
Well, all I know is
I'll be watching it on IG because I don't have an iPhone. That's what I do now.
Trash.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to do better in life, man.
I keep on doing it, man. Forever.
Be a bum. It comes on Thursday.
All right. Yeah.
But nah, get an iPhone. But yeah, like I'll be watching this on Apple Music. I will say that much. If y'all listening, we always welcome the sponsors. So Apple, we always welcome the sponsors.
Big time Apple. Fuck Samsung. Big time
Oh,
Apple.
whoa. It's we don't say fuck it. It's whoever pays us.
Exactly.
Yo,
if they pay us, y'all better get a fucking Android.
Yeah,
Fucking
listen,
Galaxy phone.
listen.
I'll get an Android to put on front of the camera like Samsung, but really, I got blue messages, nigga.
Hey man,
Man, listen. The better phone is whoever pays me. Like
I
Dave Chappelle
agree.
once, like Dave Chappelle said, "What's better, Pepsi or Coke? It's all about who pays me more." Like,
Yeah, man. Hey, man. Yeah, you're right. Far as that, but once the cameras and all that shit is off, just know.
remember
Shit,
that.
just
Remember
know.
that Lau said that.
yeah,
I didn't say that.
yeah. We
Yeah. Oh,
listen. We could work a deal where it's just two of us, yo. Like,
hey, fuck it. Hey, fuck it. Go
I'll be
ahead.
like,
Sell your soul. Sell your soul to the devil.
All
right.
Jesus.
"Hey
Go
man,
ahead. Why
amen."
you sit down in hell burning up?
Mm.
Just know that I
Look.
didn't sell my soul.
People be sitting here broke in real life while I'm burning up with money. It's like,
Burning up for money and dying.
Hey.
Dying. You can't take the bit. You can't take the shit to the grave, bro. And I'm not.
listen,
and
man.
I'm
As long
not.
as I don't have secrets like Epstein coming out when I die, I'm good.
Ooh.
Whoa.
And that's all. We just gonna
Yeah,
keep it pushing.
we're gonna leave that right there.
I'm just leaving it at that. Like,
We're gonna leave it right there.
yeah,
That's a conversation we could really dive into if we wanted to.
I don't even feel comfortable diving into that type of
I was
conversation.
about to say
Fair
that's
enough.
a
I
conversation.
respect it.
Yeah, I don't feel
Yeah.
comfortable. It's too much. Like, I put it like this: anytime the judge's son and husband got clapped up because they was taking that case for Shorty, I'm good.
Hey, they're listening
So-
to us talk about this shit right now.
So anyway, back to Rick Ross. though, right? So I got Rick Ross winning. I got Rick Ross winning. I think 2 Chainz he's gonna put up a good fight, and we'll see what happens with that. Quick question, actually. Did you guys watch the NBA?
Yep, definitely did.
Or I missed it. How was it?
I thought it was good. I thought it was a good format. I liked how they were playing in the bubble, as you could say. It kind of, honestly, realistically, it feels outside of the crowd noise. It feels kind of normal for real. You know what I mean? And they try to digitize, have the CGI crowd in there so you can hear some type of noise in the background, but like you just quickly ignore it because it's not a real live crowd.
Right.
So, but to me, it's just
Oh, they got a studio audience.
Nah, it's like they have like people zooming in or Skyping in as crowd members and shit.
Oh.
I'd rather hear the players talking shit personally, but
Me too,
they
yeah.
can't have that, I guess, because who knows what they're saying.
I thought
Yeah.
I thought you were referring to, like, when you watch remember when you would watch like Cosby Show and stuff like that. Granted, they had a live audience, but like you'll have a fake studio audience that would clap or laugh.
yes, yeah,
Applause.
Yeah, like
yeah.
I thought you were referring to that. I thought they made like some VR version of that or some shit like that, 3D.
No, it's not like that. But it was good. The presentation was pretty good too, and you could tell there's a couple players there that like they needed a bubble because they definitely were getting like worn the fuck out, and so I guess right there that kind of helped explain why they play 82 games and not just like 40 games. You know what I mean? Because I guess you lose a step when you're not really playing actively all the time.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But with another thing that they did though, which is like, so the whole NBA restart week, they really highlighted all the social injustices that was happening to black people and everything like that. So like during the national anthem, both male and females that did their own version of like protesting. So like the
I heard some
females,
of
they
it. Okay.
the women basketball players, they walked off court
Yeah.
during the national anthem, while the male basketball players, the majority of them kneeled. There was a couple of them that stood up still, but majority of them kneeled and all that stuff like that. And it was just like a joint effort. And a lot of the, definitely, with that, you're going to get a lot of people giving feedback. And a lot of people were saying like, this is unity. This is, this is awesome, blah blah blah. And of course, you always have those people that are kind of like, oh, they're disrespecting the country, they're disrespecting the flag, and this that, and the third, and yada yada. So I thought it was great. I thought it was good, because the players were definitely, you could tell the players were trying to use the platform. The players were definitely trying to use the platform to talk about social injustice and stuff, because like post press conferences or pre press conferences, they would ask some questions. How do you feel about the bubble? You'll have a player be like, arrest the officers that killed Breonna Taylor.
Yeah,
they would do shit like that.
I think I saw Tobias Harris was doing something like that before.
Yeah.
Too. Him and LeBron, I believe.
So I think the NBA restart is pretty good. You know what I mean? I think now my only thing about it is, now that restart week is over, how long are they going to continue with this about promoting the social injustice thing? That's my only thing. Like, is it going to be like, hey, we're going to do this for the rest of this playoffs and the play-ins, or we're going to, this is it for like 2 weeks and then we're done, back to normal NBA presentation?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they stick to it, because I know I didn't have a chance to watch the game, but I didn't have a chance to watch the games, and I've seen some highlights, especially with Houston. Hearing, like, I've heard Houston might actually be like a favorable opponent this year. So that, despite them being like a smaller team because of Russ and Harden or whatever. But outside of that, I mean, I think you have players like Tobias Harris, who I think it was Tobias Harris or someone else that got arrested when they were protesting with the arrested killers of Breonna Taylor, right? And I think when you have something like that, and you have someone like LeBron, right, where he's the leader, long story short, like whatever LeBron does, it's a trickle down effect,
Right?
And I think a lot of the players, as long as LeBron is going to be at that forefront, especially, you're going to have more players that are willing to be more vocal about it, or find a way of expressing themselves on the situations at hand, the social impacts at hand right now. So I think it's going to stick around. Like, even when they did the I Can't Breathe thing, like when it was Eric Gardner, when he got murdered, when he was murdered, like they had, like, I think LeBron and all the NBA players were wearing I Can't Breathe shirts. That was around the same time when Cat was catching hell in the NFL for taking a knee. And the NBA was able to, like, kind of, like, the NBA is a lot more lenient, I think, when it comes to players voicing their opinion. Because I think to some extent, I think the league in general probably values, I think the players understand their value more in comparison to players in the NFL. Yeah, so I think
100% the NBA values their players more.
Yeah, I think they value their players more, because I think the players understand their value in comparison to the NFL, because you wear a helmet. So no, if you don't know who Brian Urlacher is, Brian Urlacher could walk right past you and you would never know that's him if you didn't know, even if you're a huge fan of his, but you don't know what he looks like.
That's fair enough. I respect that.
So I can understand. So I can understand that. So
I agree with that. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, I would like to say that I would like to see them protest, like, until shit is done, but I know that just won't happen, because they won't allow that to happen. You know what I mean? Like, eventually the focus will be shifted off of this, and I think that's going to be unfortunate. But I do think that for as long as it's possible, like, if the league doesn't do it, the players should be making it a point to say, hey, we need justice, because at the end of the day, like, this is something that, it's not just a 2020 problem, it's going to be a problem until it's fixed.
Right.
Exactly.
But so here's my stance about when I, a while ago, while we were like disagreeing on whose side we should take and all that, I think that, the NBA is doing the NBA right now, they're leading on how a sports organization should use a platform to stand up for what players believe in, right? They're the only people that's plastered Black Lives Matter all across their fucking organization. The only team the only sports organization that's world renowned to do that. The only thing where they publicly everybody has fucking kneeled, from the players to the coaches to every fucking body. White, black, Spanish, whatever. And you know, and you don't. I mean, of course, you're always gonna get people that disagree, but so far, people have supported, what the NBA has done. This is why I didn't like, right, about the whole Kyrie thing, right? And I get it. Kyrie is. I'm not saying Kyrie is not for the people or nothing like that, but I really, if Kyrie, see, the reason why I truly believe Kyrie said what he was saying is because, one, Kyrie's injured. Two, Kyrie's still getting guaranteed $30 million just to sit on the fucking bench. Three, KD is not playing because KD is injured. If KD was playing, Kyrie's going to play too because they have a chance to win the championship. And Dwight Howard was like, "Oh well, I'm not going to play in the NBA." Da, 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 da. But LeBron was like, "Yeah, man, I'm playing." Dwight Howard, you seen him? He's fucking starting the other night. He just started. So all that shit for some people is a crock of shit, and that's why I'm saying that's why it's not wrong for you to play. Help use your platform to be like, hey, look, yes, we're playing, but we also want to spread awareness about this. Like, this is wrong about what's going on in the country, and it's not going to be fixed, like Nigel said, until it's fixed. It's not just a simple thing, and that's why I was like, I'm not. And when people were like, "Oh, these NBA players they shouldn't play. We should protest." Blah blah blah. Da 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 da. Yeah, when you're sitting on the couch in your home criticizing what somebody else should fucking do, when you're not going to sacrifice yourself going to work to go protest, you're not going to do that. And now was kind of like my stance on it. If you want to go protest, that's cool. I have 100% no problem with you protesting, doing what you think that you're doing to help the people. But I think I just disagree with if you're trying to convince other people to not to lose their fucking jobs to go help you. And I feel like that's not right because not everybody has the same situation as you. You know what I mean? There's some people who their whole family depends on them, and if they stop working, now they're a homeless fucking family. And not everybody's so fucking gracious and fucking grieving to go and help a homeless family out. I mean, I know that for a fact. So I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's a bad thing that the NBA came back. I don't. And the way that they handle it, they're setting the standard for how other sports should handle social injustice right now. Every commercial break, they talked about what the protests and everything about that.
Really?
So they handled it really well. They handled it very well.
Yeah, I mean, I think because of the way that they've handled it is why I have to retract what I've said. Just because had it been handled a different way, had they just treated it like, had it just been regular commercials and they're telling players, no, you can't kneel, you can't protest or anything like that. If it was under like stricter guidelines, I would still say they shouldn't be playing. But because they're using their platform for social awareness, because and we don't really have to go back into it, but it's just because though there's a lot of things that they identify as though they are athletes nonetheless, right?
Right.
So I think them at least being able to accept the responsibility, because unfortunately as an athlete at the end of the day, you have this unwarranted responsibility to the people, which is unfortunate to some extent because I applaud LeBron for being able to speak on social issues and trying to find ways to make a positive impact. But in the same regard, I understand that is not his responsibility at the end of the day. And I think it puts some pressure on him. Unfortunately, it puts a certain pressure on him, which he probably he understands, and he carries that weight on his shoulders with no problem. He's been in the game for almost 20 years now. So for him, it's no problem. But unfortunately, that's the world we live in, where we look for celebrities. Like, there's somebody that looks to Lil Bootsy to make a statement on certain issues, unfortunately. But that's the way the world works. So I'm just glad that they were able to use their platform for a positive, for something positive nonetheless. So,
Right.
I mean, I'll probably actually tune into it, if anything, if I get a chance, and I'll let you guys know. But And salutes to them. Well, that's all I can say. Salutes to them, and I'm glad that they were able to do that. They've been able to actually utilize the platform in the most positive way possible.
And I think that it'd be fair if we give like the UFC some credit too, because Dana White has came out and he said like, hey, look, I'm not. If you want to talk about Black Lives Matter or that this and the third, he's not against it at all.
Right.
And there's has been fighters and post fight press interviews or whatever. They came out and voiced their opinion and stuff like that. And Dana White has not shunned it. He has not said anything about it. So if those fighters they want to come out and say what they want to say, he's all for it. He has nothing against it at all. So credit to him and credit to any sports organization that's trying to let their athletes, performers, whatever, do their thing.
Facts. That's a fact. You got anything to say about it, Nigel?
Nah, man. Like pretty much, I think we covered it all. Actually, I think we covered everything from this week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe we did. I think that was really. I know something. I think you had said something to me earlier about Netflix acquiring like the black sitcoms or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, I'm about to watch the game of Moesha. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's what's up there. Oh, salute to
see Ray J back on his young shit.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh god. Oh, god. I wish they would bring back the Cosby Show, but we know that's never.
Yeah, that's just never happening. Like, if you want to see that shit, buy it on Blu-ray. Like,
yeah, unfortunately, because man, I tell you, bro, because I was actually watching it recently, and I was just like, damn. I was like, because there's just so many fundamental learning moments in terms pertaining to life to some extent.
Yeah, it's a decent show.
So check this out, right? The Cosby Show is a classic show, and you know how they check. Yes, but it's going to be a big but. There's going to be a big but, right? But I fucks with the Cosby Show, but you see how they fucking Bill Cosby's being fucking hung up to fucking dry, right? Because of what he did. Not excusing what he did. Look at Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen was tying up bitches. He was tying them up against their fucking will. And they're still airing his shows on 2.5 fucking Men. They're airing his episodes.
Yeah.
I think that's fucking wrong, bro. Like, they replaced him with Ashton Kutcher. So the fuck what? If Bill Cosby was still doing the Cosby Show today, his ass would have been replaced too. But not only they stopped playing Bill Cosby shows, but now he's painting his light. Charlie Sheen, nobody says anything bad about Charlie Sheen anymore. They actually turned him into a fucking meme and a joke in a positive manner.
Tiger blood.
And they fucking, and they're still playing reruns of his shit of 2.5 fucking Men because the Ashton Kutcher shit is not going anywhere. So like that's bullshit to me, bro. Like it needed to treat situations the same.
I didn't even know anything about the whole tying chicks up thing. I just knew he was out here smashing Jones raw, though he was conscious that he had like HIV. Yeah, that was the thing that never made sense to me because I could have sworn that's like premeditated murder, but attempted murder. But what do I know?
Hey man, like
what do I know?
Sometimes the rule books are different for everybody. You know what I mean? Especially when certain things are in play.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You're right. Certain things in play.
So it can be a shady topic to talk about, but let's bring ourselves out of a possible dark conversation.
Yeah, let's end on a bright note. Yeah. On a bright note, people are free, and they're roaming the streets.
Unfortunately, and they be safe out there, and make sure y'all hold on before you say anything else. Anybody listening to this, make sure you go out and vote, and please register to vote, and please make sure you go and vote. If you need to, make sure you get an absentee ballot if need be. You can do this shit online. I've done an absentee ballot this year, and all you had to do is submit it online via email. So please make sure everybody does this. Do this early, please. I ask of everybody. Make sure you guys do this.
Vote.
I just needed to get that out. That's all.
Fair enough. It's fair enough.
Exercise your right to vote. I'm not telling you who to vote for, but exercise your right to vote because this is, and I think every election year is a critical year. Every election year is a critical year. I don't care if it's presidential, local, or whatever. Every year is a critical year to vote. But please, I ask of people, go and vote because there's so many things, there's so many changes that I see that people want, right? And I'm not saying this from just a racial standpoint, but I'm saying this in terms of a human standpoint, right? There's changes people want that of all colors of the spectrum that is only capable if you go out and vote. Don't try to let anybody suppress your vote. Don't feel as though you should suppress your vote because you're not as knowledgeable. Do the research. We have months until it's time to go vote for the presidential election and whatever your. Hopefully, you have enough time between now and then for your local elections. But please make sure you go out and register to vote. Register to vote. Do an absentee ballot if need be. Know where you have to go vote at. If it seems like it's in a strange area, like they had the issue in Georgia, please make sure go and do an absentee ballot if that be the case, because you don't want to be in an area like in Georgia where they closed down most of the voter ballots and made all the people, which is hundreds of people, stand in line for almost hours just to go vote.
$ dispense. $
Facts.
dispense. $ dispense.
You know what I'm saying? I'm actually building a community center for people that want to come and vote. So if you want to learn about the community center, cash at me. I'm taking all donations for the Cash App. Cash App St. Kitch. Cash App St. Kitch. Cash App St. Kitch. Well, before we head up out of here, and maybe I don't know. Let's talk about it for a quick second. Where you put Eminem at? Is Eminem in your top 10?
Of course he is.
Is he in your top 10, Lau?
Yeah, man, but he's like on the bottom side of it.
No, I only asked because I know Snoop Dogg didn't put him in his list.
Yeah, because he's. I mean, he's living in the past. He comes from an era where where rap is a lot better as far as content wise in his era. So I can understand what he's saying, and plus, his generation before the '80s, where a lot of them niggas consider that the golden era, which I don't think so. But who am I, compared to Snoop Dogg when it comes to the rap game? So I just think that he's just living in the past, and he has the right to it. It's the top 10 is a subjective thing. There's no 10 commandments for it. Until that comes out, it's kind of like whatever.
I feel you. What were you about to say, Nigel?
No, I was just saying, like he's in my top 10 for sure. He is. Like that's really it.
I was gonna say I don't necessarily. Eminem, he struggles to make it into my top 10, like drastically struggles to make it in my top 10. And I only say that, and he's a very great artist. I mean, well, I guess if it's coming to lyrical ability, he might be there. It's a possibility. But in terms of like my top 10, he's not. He's probably not in my top 10 overall, in my personal top 10.
That's fair enough.
I'm not the biggest fan of his, but yeah, I saw Snoop say that, and I mean, like you said, I agree with what you were saying, Lau. Like he grew up in an era where it's like, yo. Like the music he grew up on, I expect him to say that. Like it's hard. I'll go back and forth with anybody that tries to tell me Drake is over Jay-Z, but that's because I grew up listening to Jay-Z, so I'm gonna have that bias also.
Right.
So
yeah, right. Yeah.
So I'll probably be like Jay-Z will probably never leave my top 5 until the day I die. I could be 102, and I'm still gonna say Jay-Z is probably one of the I'll be telling my great grandkids, Jay-Z, y'all don't know nothing. Jay-Z was the greatest rapper alive. Y'all talk about your dad be talking about NBA YoungBoy.
Jesus.
You should listen to Jay-Z.
Jay-Z's the GOAT, 100%. He's the GOAT. The GOAT. He's Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I saw someone bashing KRS-One though.
Nah, I don't want to bash anybody from the '80s, but I mean, like, we're not gonna go ahead and put all the '80s rappers like above some of the ones that are from the '90s, 2000s. Like, let's be real.
Fam. Yeah. This girl, I seen someone say something about what was it? Is KRS-One Oh, that's what they said. Are you putting KRS-One over Lil Wayne? They said KRS-One is not better than Lil Wayne, and that's when I was just like,
We're gonna have to have we can have this whole conversation for like another hour. We got to cut
It's
this
not
one.
even really. I was gonna say I don't even think there's a conversation because I think we all kind of agree on this.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Because I think
She's
KRS-One
wrong.
is better. Yeah, I was gonna say
She's wrong.
Period. That's it. Like we can go to episode 21. Like she's wrong.
Yeah.
That's it.
With that being said, you've been highly advised.
Boom.